In this video, I'm giving you 3 actions that you can start to do to begin exiting the matrix. Even if you feel stuck, even if you feel like you don't know where to start, whatever your situation is, these 3 things are going to help give you at least a micro win today. I am Sierra Coburn-Hodges, one part of that family on the go. We are a locked family of 4, almost. Baby boy isn't locked yet. And we travel the world, sometimes slowly, sometimes at a really fast pace, and we live abroad. Our whole thing is, we're the unconventional people in our families, right? Like, we're the people who are like, oh God, what is Sierra doing now? Where in the world is Jordan now? Where have they taken those kids now? That's us. So all the things that tend to be like a little bit outside the lines, we doing it. We clock diaper. We raise our kids vegan up until a certain age, until they are old enough to choose whatever they would like to eat. We live a non-toxic lifestyle as much as possible. We don't really do plastic. Like, it's, we're those people. So good to meet you, or welcome back, depending on, how long you've been here with us. Currently, I'm making this video for you guys from our home in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, where we've been for almost a year, where our youngest was born. And I am here to talk to you about 3 things that can really, really help you jumpstart. And a lot of people want to move abroad. Some people want to do it and they're going to do it. Some people want to do it and they don't know how. Some people want to do it and don't know they want to do it. So whatever has brought you here, know that you're not alone. Know that we have been those people in different phases of our lives. Know that it's okay for your plan A to look a little different, right? Like, plan A, get the job, start a family, buy a house, get a dog. Plan B, sell all that stuff, move abroad. It's okay if your plan A looks a little different from your plan B. It's okay if you're on plan C or D or E or K. It's okay. You're safe here. So before I dive into everything, I want to share with you guys that we do have some free resources. And if you are interested in taking advantage, which you definitely should, because these resources are birthed out of a place of, well, you know what? People always ask us this. So maybe we should just create something so that everyone has the answers they need. So our Instagram is at That Family on the Go, same as our YouTube. And we have some free resources that we really help to get you in the right mindset, because at the end of the day, that's the biggest thing, right? Like, we think we have to save money. We think we have to check off this to-do list to make sure that we're ready to move abroad, but it's actually our mindset. The mindset sets the tone for everything. If you think you're going to move abroad and it's going to work out, it is. If you think you're going to move abroad and it's going to be terrible, it is. You are in control, but you have to declutter what's going on up here before you can really have a successful experience abroad. Particularly my people who are moving with children, right? It's not a frivolous thing. When I was traveling solo, if it didn't work out, the stakes were real low. Like, okay, cool. Well, either I'm going to make it work or I'm going to go back home or go somewhere else. With children and wanting to provide, some semblance of stability and things like that, like, you want to have a comfortable level of figuring out before you just kind of dive into it. So, relatable feelings, right? We invite you to take advantage of those resources. They are available in the links in our bios, on all the places that we are, Instagram, YouTube. I think it's just Instagram and YouTube. We also invite you to join our mailing list if you want to stay up to date on what we're doing, where we are. I have a Substack called Beyond Reason, where I talk about my nomadic housewife type things, like how I'm building a home and leaning and standing on faith beyond reason out here in these international streets. So I will make sure all that stuff is linked so you can stay connected with us. We ultimately have a goal to help others. And so whenever we create content, whenever we create resources, whenever we just share, it's with the goal of helping others. When I first started doing this, I didn't have all the resources that are available now. And so these are the things that I wished I would have had. These are the things that we collectively wish we would have had when we first started, doing this whole thing. Hopefully that resonates, and I hope that your questions get answered. And if they don't, that's what the comment section is for, okay? Leave a comment below, send us a DM, however you want to go about it. We are happy to help. And you should join our Exit the Matrix Challenge. Even if you don't feel like you're ready today, it's a great thing a great idea, excuse me, to go ahead and get started, right? Like don't wait because there are things. So don't wait to get started. Don't say like, oh yeah, when this happens, I'm gonna do this. No, you don't have to do that. You can start rolling out your plan now, or at least planning the rollout now. All right, let's get into it. So these are 3 things that I think are solid starting points for whoever, whether you're a 9-to-5er, an entrepreneur, whether you're a CEO somewhere, whatever you have going on, this is a really good starting point for you to move abroad, right? Number 1, I say this all the time. You may have heard me say this in other spaces. Get rid of those subscriptions. And this is coming from a money standpoint, right? So we're paying for Netflix and Prime. We're paying for Disney Plus. We're paying for Hulu. We're paying for Stars. We're paying for Paramount Plus. We're paying for Spotify, right? We're paying for whatever other things that are auto drafting out of your account every month. Take a good hard look at them, minimize them, okay? I'm a fan of sharing the wealth. I have a family plan with my family and we are all on one plan, right? Some of the subscriptions are getting a little bit stricter about that, where like they want you to be particularly in one household. And I respect it, from a business standpoint. But if I think it's Netflix, I think, where you can like add an extra person. And so even that, like, okay, you want us to pay for it, we'll pay for it. Let me just add this extra person who does not live in my household. But we're happy to pay for the things. We just don't want to be paying for the things 7 times, right? There's no reason for me and Jordan to have Prime. As much as neither one of us want to let go of our Prime accounts, there's no reason for both of us to have it when all the packages are coming to the same account. Okay. Really, we need to minimize the amount of packages we're buying anyway, but that's a conversation for another time. So start to look at the things, right? What things have you signed up for? Like, that are just auto drafting. What things are on repeat? Do you have a storage unit that you don't need? Could you downsize it? Could you get rid of it? Could you cancel your plan and take advantage of a new offer somewhere else to just save some money for a little while? So these are just these are what we call creative sacrifices, right? So how can we get creative about making sure that we are moving in the right direction? And then I would say, once you've taken a look at that, think about what you actually need. I would also consider seasonal things, right? So like, let's take Stars, for example. I love the Power universe. Love it. But when I'm not watching Power, there's not really much else that I'm watching on Stars. So I'm perfectly fine to just start up a new subscription when I want to watch it and cancel it when I don't. Because you wouldn't like go to a restaurant and be like, oh, well, I'm not going to eat here for a month, but I'm going to keep paying for it. Like make it make sense. And I mean, it's from a business standpoint, that's definitely how businesses make money. Like having somebody pay for something, even if they don't use it at a low rate. That's why subscriptions work. That's why they work for us. They work for them. It's great. But that cancel anytime part is for real. You can always get it back. You can always get it back. So think about that. And I'm not here to say that you have to live a humble life just because you're moving abroad, but I do think minimizing all of the extra things helps you to frame your mind for living abroad. Because depending on where you go, everywhere is different. There are some places where it puts America to shame, okay, as far as just the lap of luxury, okay, all the things. But most places that you go when you move abroad will be places who move differently, right? They don't grocery shop for a month, right? They're not going to do like a whole haul of groceries. They're going to buy what they need to go home and make dinner, and then they'll go back to the grocery store tomorrow if they need to. And that's just not something that is a part of our culture in America, and it also leads to waste. And so this one thing is really helping to frame your mindset for so many other things. We waste much less food by going to the grocery store more frequently and shopping for smaller quantities of things. Let me get what I need for the next day or two. I'll come back to the grocery store. So I might go to the grocery store 3 days a week. And that's fine because I live a life where I have time to do that. I'm not rushing to cram everything in and being like, oh man, I really don't have time to go to the grocery store a couple of times a week because I have to work and I have this and I have that. I don't live that life anymore. That hustle culture, that like go that we have in America, I don't do that anymore. As much as possible, I don't do that anymore. So I have time to shop 3 days a week. I also live across the street from the grocery store. There's Costco right there, and there's La Comer, which is like Target, basically. Like it's like an upper crust grocery store. It is still a grocery store. Like Target is not really a grocery store, but it's like super Target. Remember when they were doing that? So anyway, yeah, framing your mindset by doing these little itty bitty things. Isn't there something in my teeth? Oh, my bad, y'all. I'm sorry. I was eating some trail mix, and that's definitely a almond shell that had me. Y'all ain't even tell me it was something in my teeth. That's crazy. Wow. Anyway, if you made it this far, thanks uh, for sticking with me. I was talking about something. Oh yeah. So yeah, I lost it. Moving on to number 2. Yeah, I think you guys get the gist because I totally forgot what I was going to say after that. But moving on to number 2, start to lean into your skills. Lean into your skills. Think about the things that you do that can earn you income, even if it's passively. One of the things that I was doing when we first moved abroad is freelancing on, what is it, Fiverr? Yeah, Fiverr. And I did pretty good on Fiverr, even had some loyal customers. And it's less about, oh, let me replace my main income, more about how can I get into the mindset of using what I have, right? And so we oftentimes focus on needing more, needing something new, needing something different, but get into the mindset of using what you have. Get into the mindset of like, you know what? I don't want to be wasteful. And so I know I only cut half of this pepper for this particular meal, but instead of framing my next meal off of what I just want to eat, could I frame my next meal around the ingredients that I have, right? How can you use what you have? And everything that I'm talking about here is literal and logical, but it's also theoretical, right? There are these ideas that other cultures uphold that we don't value as much in America, right? We don't value eliminating waste or reducing waste as much as other places do. And that says a lot for a place that is like big on reducing and reusing and recycling. But when you get to other places and you just kind of see how they go about things, for example, my background is in theater. I've been a theater teacher for a very long time. And I remember I was working with a small company and we were putting together a Mad Libs version of Cinderella. And unbeknownst to the kids, the material that they chose for Cinderella's shoe was sticks. And so my suggestion was to get a shoe and just hot glue cinnamon sticks on the shoe, because I was like, oh, it would be so textured, it would be cool. I was like, oh, it's gonna look so good. The woman I was working with had an West Asian background. And she was just like, I really don't want to use food. I'll find some sticks. And we were living in the desert, so I don't know where she was gonna go find sticks. But she was like, I'll find something to use. And I was like, wow. I didn't think of it like that, right? Because it's like, I didn't grow up with that mindset. Like, this is food that could be going into someone's mouth. Let's use it for what it's intended. And I'm not here to tell you have to go to that extreme, but I do believe that the people who adopt the local lifestyle when you move abroad are happier, healthier. They have a smoother transition. Like if your goal is to move abroad and still be very American outside of America, it may be more difficult for you. And also I may not be the best resource for you because I'm about immersing yourself in the culture. Yes, of course, we still have our customs and our cultures because we have a mixed cultural home family, but also we get here, we're learning the language, right? Like we get here, we're speaking to the locals. We're trying our best to practice our Spanish. We're trying our best to practice our Greek or our Montenegrin or Serbian or just wherever we are, we're doing that. And once again, I can't stress it enough, that mindset, right? Like you don't always see it until you end up in someone else's country, but we too often, it's not everyone, but more often than not, we have this oh, we speak English over here type of attitude towards immigrants and foreign visitors, right? But when we go to other people's places, the first thing we ask is do you speak English? Because we either haven't taken the time or don't care to learn the language at least a little bit to see if we can try and get by. There's an expectation that everyone should speak English. And that is a blind bias, right? So when we go to France and when we go to Indonesia and we go to all these places that we love, sure, if you go to a high tourist area, most people will speak English because tourism is a business and in that business. However, you cannot expect that. It's not fair to expect that from someone else if you don't expect it of yourself, right? It's not like I remember being on a flight one time, and it's the reason to this day why I do not fly Delta internationally. I'll do it domestically, but I will not do it internationally. I was on my way to China for the first time actually, and I was sitting next to a Chinese couple. The flight's full of Chinese people because we're flying to China. That was normal for me. And there was one flight attendant who she was so bothered. She was so bothered. And I was just like, I don't know how much choice, right? Like flight attendants get on which flights they take or whatever. But like every single thing that the couple I was sitting with said to her was such an inconvenience, right? She was like, and then when it was my turn, she was like, oh my God, like, thank God you speak English. And then she was like bringing me extra stuff. Like, I was like, I don't really want to be a part of your racism. Like, I'm good. You don't have to, I didn't ask for anything extra. I don't need you treating me special. I don't need nobody else thinking we're in cahoots, because I'm not treating them the way you treating them. Like, you talking to them like they got a kindergarten education. Meanwhile, they probably speak more English than you speak Chinese. And it bothered me to my soul. So to this day, I don't do it, because from what I understand in my experience, the type of flight attendants and gate agents who work for Delta that have the level of seniority it takes to operate those flights, those not my people are the ones where you fly, from LA to Atlanta, and they be like, oh my God, what's up? Like those are my people, right? I don't want to be with the snobby flight attendants who feel like they're too good to do their jobs just because someone speaks a different language, even though the company they work for is an international company. Bothers me to this day. And so don't be that person, right? And it's okay if you're watching this and you're like, man, that is me. That's step one. Number one, because I've had biases. I have also had biases, but it's because I grew up American and we have an obscene number of biases that we don't talk about or acknowledge, right? And this is beyond black and white. Like, we have biases against the world. And so it can be a very emotional thing to navigate at first, but know that when you know better, you do better. And so, no, I'm not proud of all the ways that I've behaved in the past, but I now know better, therefore I can do better. And I'm going to continue learning more, to know more, to do better more often. So just really start to those small things that you can start today. Shift your mindset, get yourself prepared. And yes, if you're thinking this, yes, it is different from a vacation. It's very different, especially if you're like a resort vacationer. Going abroad, living abroad, there are going to be some communities where you can find more expats or immigrants, because we are immigrants. I know that that's not everybody's favorite word, but when you immigrate to a new country, you're an immigrant. That's even a bias. Like, we came up with a whole new word for immigrant instead of just calling ourselves immigrants. Go figure. But yeah, so you can find an expat community with people like you. It's not hard to find us wherever we go, but you still do have to acknowledge that you're living in a different country. You're under a different governing body. You have to, how can I put this? You have to be aware that you are being welcomed into someone else's country and you don't have a right to be here. You're not entitled to this. You're not entitled to their kindness, their patience, or any concessions. You're not entitled to skip the line. Like, it's not that, right? So with that being said, shifting that mindset and reframing it is automatically going to reduce the number of frustrations that you meet. Because my son is a Mexican citizen, and yes, it was a process to get his birth registered, to get his Mexican passport, to even get his citizenship in the US registered, because he is, because of us, a US citizen. So he has dual citizenship. It was a process everywhere we go. But instead of having the attitude of like, oh, this is so frustrating, it shouldn't be this hard, you shift your perspective and be like, wow, because my son was born on this soil, he now has rights and access to everything here. And because we are his parents, we now have rights to be here. And we have rights to residency. And it's actually not that hard. Fill out some paperwork, go to a few offices, and boom. It could be so much harder. And there are countries that make it so much harder. for anybody to get citizenship, residency, things like that. And so we really do need to strip away our biases, break it down, and move into a spirit of gratitude, a perspective of gratitude. Hopefully that is landing. Hopefully that's going where it needs to go in mind, body, spirit. The last thing I'm going to leave you with is my favorite hack, and it is very American. So I hope you love it. Move during tax season. Yep, I said it. Every single time we've moved, like a big move, it has always been during tax season, and it always comes in the clutch, especially if you have kids. Now we're entrepreneurs, so our tax returns are not crazy, right? Like we're not getting thousands of dollars back. It's never been our lives. But we do have kids, and that is, a plus. We also have expenses that we write off and things like that. And I, for one, I'm not one that like wants to get a whole lot back on my taxes because that means I spend too much money throughout the year. I gave y'all too much money up front. It's not a gift that you're giving it back, but getting a lump sum of money, whether it's during tax season or another time of the year, maybe it's during the season where you get a bonus, that is a great time to move. Not because you don't have anything saved up, but you don't have to have as much saved up as you think. It's actually a lot more affordable to live in most places than it is in the US. But that lump sum of money just helps give you a cushion. It helps for like just to fluff up your emergency fund. It helps to give you peace of mind. It's that extra, like, if I get here and I hate it, I'm packing everything up, I'm canceling all things I signed, and I'm buying a last minute flight. Like, give me the first flight out. Like, it's that. So that is always a helpful thing. And I fully recommend giving you and your family the first 3 days, potentially the first week, to just splurge, right? Like, get there. Don't worry about cooking and like decorating the house and just like all the things. Like, eat out, accept the furniture and the linen and stuff that you have, because in most places abroad, apartments come furnished. You can get it unfurnished if you have your own things, but you don't have to pack up your whole stuff, like all of your stuff, and bring it with you. You can get a furnished house. Everything you're looking at right now was here when TV, dresser, bed, all the stuff, the closet, all that was here when we got here. So that helps as well with how much you're traveling with. But give yourself that space, those days, to just be like, actually, yeah, we're going to eat out for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Yes, we're going to go, just whatever, right? We're going to pay for the delivery fee for the groceries instead of going splurge. And then if you need to be on a tighter budget after that, then you can, but budget for that splurge period. So actually that was 2 tips. It was extra. That was 4. I hope that this did the things that it needed to do. And if you have any questions, please ask. I love talking about this, if you can't tell. So please ask the questions, do the things, tell me what you want to know. And if it's something that requires another video, well, I guess I'll make another video. Okay? If this gave you even 1% of a lesson, of a shift in perspective, of a feeling of comfort, or a feeling of like, I can do this, we can do this, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Show us some love, check us out on Instagram at That Family on a Go. Join our challenge. We have challenges every single month where we sit with families and we talk about how we've done this. We give you all of our secrets. Let us know. Well, they're not secrets, but we give you all the things that we've done, things we've navigated, tell you how to avoid certain problems that we ran into. We do this free 5-day workshop every single month. So tap in, hit subscribe, hit like, leave us a comment, and join the challenge. It has been such a pleasure to chat with you all. Peace, be well, until next time.